spider bitch, shooting webs out of her tits. It's a podcast, yeah.
That better not be the intro.
Oh, it's the temporary intro. Oh, Robby's already on his computer.
That's right.
We've got our fact checker.
Fact checker right here. Ready to go.
Oh my god! Okay.
Okay, so welcome to the Sprung podcast. My name is Brandon, and you are?
Insensitive asshole.
Trey. And you are?
Robby.
Alright. So, since this is the second one, and Trey is relatively... This is the first time you've been on the podcast. You had a rant that you were going on earlier. Would you like to start again?
GameStop rant.
Dude, fuck you, man. I was gonna start out. I was getting in the fucking... Fuck GameStop, bro, man. I mean, they're if you want the definition of the man, that's fucking GameStop for you, man.
The man.
The man. Yeah, no, I'm fed up with them. They're in the business of fucking everybody over, and I don't necessarily appreciate it that much. So,
you were talking earlier of the sleazy business practice that they were doing with the red-ringed Xboxes.
Oh yeah. So it came out that they're essentially towel tricking the Xboxes back into working and then reselling them to little Jimmy down the street who hardly has a penny and a nickel to rub next to each other. And that's real shady to me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Trey's empowered this one. Okay.
Empowered.
You said they were doing some method of superheating and supercooling.
Yeah, they're superheating the top of the system to melt the solder in the chip, and then they're supercooling the bottom of the system at the same time to reharden the solder, and then getting the system to work with science and shit. But it's got a 98% statistic for failing within the first year after doing that. So, to me, it's not morally correct. I wouldn't willingly break a cell phone and then sell it to somebody as a working cell phone. I'd get my ass sued and I'd lose a shit ton of money if I did that. So,
well, generally, a broken cell phone means that it wouldn't perform the tasks. Does this perform the tasks?
For a year. I mean, that'd be like, okay. That would be like buying a cell phone, finding out that the cell phone port, the charging port, no longer works on it. That'd be like going out buying a brand new battery that's fully charged, putting it in the cell phone, and then me selling it to you. It's got a fully charged battery. It's gonna make and receive phone calls, but it's gonna stop working as soon as that battery runs out. Is that right? Is that fair? Do you think I should do that? No.
I think that's actually a pretty good way of looking at it. Once you reevaluated the cell phone bid, very heavy in the cell phones already.
Well, I want a new cell phone. I'm ready for a new one. Once all your friends get the phone you already have, it's time to get a new one.
Oh, I see how it is. You rock the HTC M8, all of a sudden everyone gets it and you get mad. They have the Windows one.
It's a good phone. I'm ready to go a little more stock Android this time around. Maybe get a Nexus 6 or something.
Well, they all went Windows, so...
Well, yeah, they went Windows, but I'm still... Connor's
still
got...
same phone to you.
Well, it's the same phone that functions the same way, looks almost exactly identical. Ugh. That's a little baby barf. Looks almost identical, and I mean... Connor's got the same black case that I've got, so it's...
Well, that's until the Xbox One.
No, he has it. He has it already.
Oh.
He's not using it because Shannon's using the Xbox One, and they don't want to get it mixed up.
All right.
So I'm in February I'll probably be upgrading to the Nexus 6. But HTC did just announce about a week ago that they're having if I could speak fucking English, they're having an event on March 1st that is most likely going to announce the M9 and a new smartwatch with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I want the Microsoft watch that they have.
I'm not into watches.
Yeah. It's more along the lines of it's like the Android one, and it's like a Fitbit or whatever the fuck they're called, and I kind of like that because I'm trying to get into shape again.
It's a smartwatch is a glorified cell phone that doesn't do what a cell phone does, and it's on your hand, draining power at all times.
Well, isn't that technology? Isn't life just one big technologic drain?
All right, we already had this conversation. I'm not going to live to be to the year 2100. Please don't remind me.
We'll do a little bit of a comic turn here. We'll go back into personal stories. What the fuck were you talking about with the whole? You were watching some television show or something like that?
I don't want to talk about this shit,
I want
man.
you to talk about this, because this is important to me.
Nah,
it means a lot to me.
No, it doesn't mean shit to you. No.
I don't know, man. My day actually perked up because you told me this story. I think that's very
I was
crucial.
watching a television show. It was on like the Discovery Channel or some shit at like 3 a.m. Don't know the title of it. Don't really care. It was something to watch before I went to bed. And they were just discussing about technology that we could possibly have in the year 3000. And you could tell it was dated because it was filmed about fucking 15 years ago, I think. And they're, you know, typical sci-fi shit. No more screens. It'll all be holograms. R2-D2 beep boop bop beep beep bullshit. And you know,
R2-D2 beep boop bebop boop.
Write that down Write that down in the books, kids.
We're doing shirt books.
It's just, you know, typical sci-fi stuff. And as I was in the shower, you know, as a man typically does in the beginning of his day before he goes to a 10-hour shift at work, in the shower, scrub-a-dub-dubbing, thinking about, wow, man, I want some flying cars and food that comes in pills. I mean, I already know if you're Kesha, you already have pills that you consider food. But anyways,
you're mean.
Well, I mean, Amy Winehouse too, but she's dead. It's not nice to make fun of dead people.
How about future dead people?
What about Whitney Houston?
I got more lines of Whitney Houston's coffee table. Quotes.
Anyways, so I'm in the shower. I'm thinking about the year 3000, and I've had maybe the show was on at 3 a.m. I was up at maybe, you know, 10 a.m. getting ready for work, and it was, I don't know, it was probably later than that. But I had gone to bed super early in the morning, so probably around 6 a.m. And so half asleep Trey had decided that the year 3000 was only 100 years away. And it got me really depressed because I was doing the math, and I realized that in 100 years I'll be 105 years old, and there's no way in hell I'm gonna live. I mean, my retirement plan's a shotgun, so I mean, there's no way I'm gonna live to be 105
We're
years old.
going dark here.
And so, I got really depressed. I texted my friend that, hey, dude, we're not gonna live to be the year 3000, and he's like, you know, he kind of responded back with a, yeah, no, I fucking know. So, yeah, that's about it.
I don't think it was that simple. First of all, it was Nick, of all people. You texted Nick. From what you were telling me, you were in the shower and you were thinking about how depressed it was. Yes, and then you texted him. What the fuck did you say? Dude, you were really depressed about it. And he's like, huh?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's embarrassing because I'm not good at math, but, you know, that's math an 8 could do. Or on second thought, that's math Kesha could do. So
that's math Whitney Houston.
Dude, fuck Kesha. I'm mad at her right now.
Why are you mad at Kesha?
I saw a picture of her with like all of my idols, and I'm not okay with it.
Why?
She was chilling out with Rob Zombie, Paul Stanley from Kiss, Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, and Alice Cooper. And then just on the side of the fucking picture, there's Kesha. And I'm not gonna lie, Kesha and Alice Cooper kind of look the same to me at this point. And to be honest with you, I thought it could have been a dude dressed up as Kesha. She has a very manly face. I don't know if you guys know this. But so yeah, no, fuck Kesha. You know, I don't want her hanging out with people that I like. Because I don't like her.
Irrationally don't like her either.
I don't like her music. You know, as a person, I don't know her. She could be the best person in the world, but, you know, she makes shit music, so she's a shit person in my book.
Alright, let's get something back on.
She can TikTok her way into the grave for all
There
I
you go,
care.
Trey. Something to look forward to.
Right? They, you know, but you gotta pull up the picture of Rob Zombie.
They're
though.
dressed the fucking same. You can't sit there and say that they look the same because...
No. Rob Zombie's hair, not Rob Zombie. Alice Cooper's hair was blonde in the photo. So they looked almost identical. It's like Alice Cooper is what Kesha has to look forward to when she gets old. She's gonna look exactly like that, I guarantee it.
Alice
think you're
Cooper's
being
hair
mean.
was not blonde.
Will you stop contradicting me, you fucking fact checker? God damn it.
That's why we have them, though. No, it's,
You fucking found that picture too. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like you now. Fuck you.
He's really emotional about this picture. It's like fucking Vance can't
Damn them, Kesha, they can't see that.
I feel bad for Kesha. He's putting a dog bone in his pants, feeding it through... Oh, look at that. Oh. And it's falling down. It's becoming flaccid just by watching it. Thank God we don't have the video podcast, because you would be fucking foul. Alright, let's get back on a rail here. Alright, the last time we actually had those podcasts, the very first one, was during or after
Oh, here
E3.
comes the dog. No!
Was during or after E3. So, we originally were talking about some things about 2014, a lot of good games, a lot of bad games, and a lot of disappointments, and we have a feeling that a lot of hype might have followed that. So, he's jacking up. Okay. And so, my big one was, we could probably talk about hype, because I feel like hype might have actually been the big thing of 2014. And my key example would be, which one survived the hype better? Titanfall or Destiny?
Destiny.
Fucking the rail one. Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive.
Well, I wasn't really that hyped, and I was just meaning
It
it
was
was
pretty hyped. I mean, I hyped it the fuck up for you. I was really into it.
I was into it too. I watched the fucking trailer, and me and you were huge into it. I get it.
Nick was like, nah.
Shadow Mordor.
Yeah.
Hype for
But
that.
Shadow, no, there was no hype for that. I
I
mean,
had my own hype.
yeah, well, you're fucking the hype
Well,
train.
That's right.
I say those two mainly because Titanfall, at least the last time I checked, was reportedly the best-selling game on the Xbox One. So that's got a bit of a foothold.
Here's why Destiny lived up to the hype. Okay? And here's why Titanfall did not live up to the hype. First off, I didn't play Titanfall. I don't care about Titanfall.
You didn't like it from the get-go.
I won't, because it's an all...
You didn't play the hype.
I didn't play into the hype. But here's the reason why Destiny has lived up to it. I think everyone in this room can agree that Destiny as a game is not a great game. It's got the core functions of a great game, but when you leave out the story, which there is
They did leave a story out.
there is a story, but you know, you have to view it on a web page.
The Grimoire cards.
Yep. And but so when you leave the story out, which is what they did, and you have a poor loot, which again they're adding more weapons to it, but you know the loot system is not great. You know, you essentially only give your little blue engrams to the Cryptarch because you want to upgrade your Cryptarch in hopes to get a legendary item. Because let's face it, you're never gonna... I got a fucking purple engram the other day and it gave me blue shit. So you're never gonna get nothing out of that. Then you've got your Vanguard.
Did you actually? I thought they fixed that.
No, I got... No, it was purple, but I mean it was nothing better than what I already had.
Well, that's not... Yeah. Well, I mean, it's why you get it, but yeah.
So, there's that. But here's why it lived up to the hype. It came out how many years, or how many months ago? Number one, we all agree it's not a great game, but yet we still play it almost every single night because it's addicting. It is addicting. You want to get to that level 32.
I don't know. I've played it once in 2 weeks. I don't know if I would say it's a... I mean...
It's more addicting than Call of Duty.
To me, it's
Now,
more
yeah.
addicting than Call of Duty. But you've got... I play it almost every day, whether or not I'm just logging in to do my bounties and the daily heroic. It still has me coming back, even though I've openly said it's not a great game.
Fair enough.
And so, and I think it is something that we thoroughly enjoy when we play all together. We all have a good time when playing it. It's just, it's not a great single-player game.
I feel like when you're doing games like that, when you play by yourself, you're paying more attention to the story, but when you hop into a party of your friends, you disregard story a lot more.
Well, yeah, and I mean, that's why I refused to play Halo 3 or play Halo 4 or play Halo Reach with anyone until I played it by myself, because we're sitting in a party, and especially with Parker, who, you know, while everyone else is off during the day doing what they're doing, he's home playing the game as fast as he can. And so he's already seen it. So when we're sitting in a party and a cutscene comes on, he's normally the first one to start talking to you, and you're like, dude, just shut up. I
thought you were going to say he's going to spoil it. I'm like, he's not a spoiler guy.
No, Nick's the spoiler.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, he's the first one to start talking, or singing that one goddamn line from whatever song he's listening to over and over. He's a broken jukebox.
Or playing the song on his phone and having it come to the mic anyways.
I do have there's something we should test out tonight. I have a cable that would plug into my microphone adapter, but would also plug into my phone. I'm wondering if I could just bypass playing the headset through the microphone and just play you guys the music off the phone.
Oh God, please!
I'm curious to see if it works.
Okay, well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, even though I don't agree anyways. I'm gonna say Titanfall survived the hype better because, not just because of the sales, we'll cut everything out, we'll just do personal opinion. Destiny being, the most expensive thing ever made for entertainment, period, you would expect a lot more work to have gone into it. And it has all the spit and polish and potential of a very good game. The shooting mechanics are there and everything like that. But the leveling system in itself is a grind. The story is mediocre at best. It's incredibly short. And that being said, they're only now starting to make the Crucible a little bit better. Now, when Titanfall came out, I was one of the people that, I guess you could say, rode the hype train. And when I played it, I didn't stop playing it. Now, the same thing basically happened with Destiny, but the difference was I was on and off the hype train quite a bit. I said it was kind of like a knockoff of every game that I've ever seen. It's like It's
Star Wars, the video game.
It's everything, the video game, dude. They basically... I could look at anything in that game and say, this reminds me of this from something else. And someone could sit there and say, you could do that with anything, but I'm not... No,
When's the last time you played Titanfall?
I don't know, when everybody else stopped, a couple months ago, maybe? I don't know if that's fair, though, because Destiny is how many months newer? I would say it's almost a full year newer, almost.
Are people still playing Titanfall?
Yeah.
I mean...
I would like to reiterate the fact that it is the best-selling game on the Xbox One. So, I mean...
But there's not that many games, especially... since almost more than half of the games on the Xbox One... But that means
it's still sold better than Destiny.
I mean,
the point is that people, I would assume, I'm not the one working the numbers, and again, I'm going off of however old the data facts, like, the people still play it. And you know what? I would hop on any time if people actually hopped on, and every day I'm tempted to plug it in, but it's like, who am I going to play with? By myself?
Not me.
You don't have it.
Well, because I think I was the most vocal about it, that there was no single-player campaign.
There actually was a single-player campaigne.
Not to the extent of,
it was like Unreal Tournament, where that...
And I didn't like that game either.
That was a great game. It's just, you don't play that game for the single-player. You play it for the multiplayer.
I don't like the multiplayer in that game.
The multiplayer is pretty fun, but that's opinions aside. It's just... That game, actually, I'll tell you one thing, Titanfall probably had a better fucking story than goddamn Destiny, because at least you felt like you were a part of something.
Well, see, I'm surprised you're not even bringing up the fact that Destiny's an all-multiplayer game when I'm sitting here well, it's not multiplayer. It's an all-online game when I'm sitting here bashing Titanfall for the same bullshit.
Well, I haven't finished yet. I'm still on my particular thing, but the thing is that it's different because that's an online shooter, and it's corely online. There's nothing that you can do. I mean, you could do private match, but you'd play by yourself facing bots, I think.
Who are you going to play the private match with? With Ryan?
Ryan?
That joke went right over your fucking head.
Roost your teeth.
No. You're gonna play you're gonna play a match with Ryan privately, so you can save Private Ryan.
Okay, well, you beat the living shit out of that one.
Oh, it went right over your head. I had to.
Yeah, you said Ryan. Like, you didn't... You need to connect it more than that.
No, I don't play.
But the thing is that Titanfall is an all-online shooter, but it's not necessarily an MMO. Destiny is an MMO.
Destiny is an MMO.
Whether they like it or not, it's a fucking MMO.
But here's, in Destiny's defense, you can play that completely single player by yourself, no help, except for the raids. The raids and the strikes, you cannot do... Well, I mean, technically, no, scratch that, except for the strikes. We've had one person I know, I don't personally know, but no, the strikes.
You can do a strike by yourself.
If it doesn't find anybody.
Yeah, but you can still automatically select the strike.
Well, yeah, but...
You're talking about matchmaking the strike. You can go find the strike on whatever fucking planet and then go do it. So you can't actually play it by yourself.
But, I mean...
You're not matchmaking it, though.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. But, like, the raids, you can do that by yourself. Nobody wants to. But there's been at least one person who's defeated Crota's raid by himself.
Yeah, but that's cheesy, and I'm not going to count that.
No.
But I'm just saying, that's a game that I wouldn't say enjoy solo, but you could play it solo. I mean, in fact, that's what I did to grind my second character up to level 29, is I had to play solo because everyone else's character is already too high for me to even do anything with what they were doing with. It's not a fun game solo. It is by no means fun. So, I mean... So
you can play it...
You can. It's not fun.
You can play it by yourself. It just sucks cock. Even if... Okay, maybe caressing cock might be a little bit more delicate
the
for you.
The thing that saved it for me was doing the bounties. I haven't even finished Mars on my second character. I can't even go to Mars yet. Well, I can go to Mars, but I haven't done any missions on there, so I can't do anything on Mars.
Okay.
But, I ranked him up to level 20 after I found out about bounties. That's just how much I didn't play it right when it came out. I didn't even know bounties gave you experience right away.
Yeah.
So, as soon as I found bounties, I did all the bounties I could do every single day until we got up to level 20. And then from there, the real game starts.
Huh. Well, I think going back into the hype thing, it's like... You look at that. I knew what I was getting with Titanfall, and I love Titanfall. I still love Titanfall, and I swear to God, one of these days I'm going to get back on it. The thing with Destiny, and it's really the thing, I mean, I was constantly looking at it, and I was like, nah, I'm not so hyped up for it. I'll get it day one, because everybody else is getting it day one, and even if I don't like the game...
Wait, you said
I
Destiny?
Yeah.
Bitch, you got the fucking limited edition with me.
Yeah, that's because after I played the beta, little did I know that the beta was
the game.
The game, yeah. I was like, that fucking sucks. But yeah, everyone here knows that I was openly like, I'm not feeling it. It just doesn't, it wasn't getting it for me. Then I tried the beta, and I really liked the beta. I was like, this sold me. I'll do the limited edition. And then that's when all the shit came out that how big is Destiny really? And I should have read those articles a lot more careful. Because honestly, I kind of regret getting the limited edition.
Hey, Robby, say something.
I'm listening to you guys.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. You're not even fact-checking at this point.
I don't
You're just sitting there.
I'm at this point. I mean, everything's fact, kind of, give or take.
You're a fact.
So, whose side would you take on this? Which one are you leaning towards?
He plays the game almost every single day.
Destiny, fair enough.
No, it's... do you even own Titanfall anymore?
No, I sold Titanfall.
See?
Months ago, actually.
Shit.
Busted old games,
myself. I'm bleeding a little bit, I think. I don't think that's blood. Nah, that's not blood.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I would say Titanfall survived the hype better, but in the end of the day, because Destiny is newer and it's what everybody's playing, I'm on it, and that's where we're at. And like I was saying, I don't like the game, I just like my friends. For some reason, their taste in games sucks. Alright, going back from the hype, any games from 2014 that you thought really stood out? Maybe underrated games?
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, that was the one I was looking at too. I can't think of any other game that I would honestly put in the underrated section for 2014.
Worms is a great game.
Worms is a great game, but you wouldn't have fucking bought it if it wasn't for gold. So we got it.
Neither would you.
Exactly.
That's why it's underrated.
It's not underrated.
You and me both.
You wouldn't spend $5 on it. You spent nothing on it.
Exactly, and that's why I play it all the time. It's a great game, though, which makes it underrated, because you and me would not have given that game the crack of daylight if it was not free. That's the whole point.
That's actually a good point, yeah.
The whole game's, you and me, we didn't know nothing about Sunset Overdrive, but you and me still got it. You and me still paid the $60 to buy it. I think we both got it digitally.
Yeah.
We both spent the money down to buy it. So, obviously, it's not that underrated, because you and me knew right from the get-go it was going to be awesome. And guess what?
It was still a gamble. We never played it before.
Gamble.
We never even touched... There's no demo. There's nothing that we could actually tell whether or not it was a good game. And underrated doesn't mean what we liked. It's what everybody liked.
And I think everybody likes Worms. I think that's unanimous. Obviously not.
Yes, but it's not underrated if everybody likes it. What did you say? Something about Africa?
No, you'll have to listen to the podcast at this point.
What did you say?
I'm not saying.
You said something about Africa, and I didn't.
You said something about Africa.
I'm not repeating it.
Oh, god damn it. You're gonna make me listen to our own fucking podcast, is what you're doing.
Well, you have to listen to it over it anyway.
No, I'm the one who's gonna have to listen to it.
He volunteered for the editing, so I'll let him do the edit.
Yeah.
But, no. I wouldn't consider it underrated because everyone likes it. I don't know anyone that doesn't like it. And I would consider underrated as in, like, the unknown section. Like,
Which would have been Worms, because neither you or me... Yeah, I knew it was coming out to the Xbox One, but, I mean...
Yeah, but everybody else got it.
Everyone got it because it was free!
No, me and you got it because it was free. Half the people we fucking watch on YouTube...
I don't watch YouTube that much.
You do.
Not really.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, maybe Hot Girls, but that's about it. I'm the cool one.
Yeah, he's the cool one watching hot girls on YouTube and beating off.
I still have a girlfriend.
Oh, no one cares because you watch YouTube and beat off.
I actually don't.
No, but I was saying, I don't know if I consider it underrated because a lot of people appreciate it and like it. I would say Sunset Overdrive is because I don't know how many people got it. I don't... Outside
it did pretty good, sale-wise. It did it good enough for them to already be discussing a sequel.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, I don't know how much of that was already planned or...
The DLC is apparently really good. I haven't spent any money to get that yet.
I'm about to.
I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't even beat the game yet.
You pathetic sack of shit.
I'm busy. I'm a busy human being. I'm at the end. I'm just not done.
The ending wasn't even that hard. It was a very good game and very rewarding.
I'm telling you right now, I'm right at the end. I've got just a sliver to do, and I'll get around to it. I've been too busy grinding in Destiny.
Oh, whatever.
What I'm surprised is the fact that Robby hasn't brought up D4 yet.
I was going to say it, but I was waiting for you to finish.
I know you got it, and I got it too. I got one achievement in it, and now I can't fucking get rid of it.
Do you not like D4? Is the one achievement
No,
bad?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I was going to say, that's my underrated game. Because I was telling Brian about it last night. It's a very interesting game. The art style is a lot like The Walking Dead and
that's why I downloaded it. Tales from the Borderland.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck it's about.
It's exactly like this is D4. What happened to D3? What happened to D2? And what happened to Dark Dreams? That's what it stands for. Is Dark Dreams don't die, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to the other
But
Dark Dreams?
it means by the 4 Ds in the whole name.
It called itself D4 instead of saying Dark Dreams Don't Die.
Dude, that's gay as shit. I'm glad I didn't play that game anymore.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, well, you'll play it, and you'll understand how good of a game it is.
I see. Okay, and here's where you've got Kinect, right, Robby?
Yep.
You use the Kinect to play it, right?
A little bit, not that much though. It's really iffy on the Kinect.
And that's just it. Like the controllers for even the controller was iffy, and I didn't like the way they went about using a controller. I mean, when you have a game like Tales from the Borderlands, which I'll throw it out there, could possibly be my favorite Borderlands game right now. I think I like it.
Right.
I think I like it more than Borderlands. I definitely like it more than Borderlands. It's been a while since I played Borderlands 2.
I can tell.
But I really, it's got that same storyline, and I can just pop it in and play it like a TV episode instead of actually having to, it makes me think more than, pew, pew, you're dead. It's...
Well, Borderlands 2 was so much better than the first one because it actually was... It was the same fucking mechanics. Might have had a little bit nicer stuff in it. Definitely had a lot more color and was a lot better a world. And actually made Pandora fucking interesting more than this is a desert. And actually had a story to it. And made you want to continue to play the story. Even if it wasn't like cutscenes and all. I mean, there were a couple that were introducing characters, and a lot of them were also text dialogues. But there was a fair amount of story in Borderlands 2, and that's why the fuck you played it. It was so much better than the first one.
I'm waiting for the new Borderlands, the Charlie Horse. I'm waiting for the pre-sequel to come, because I know me, Connor, and Parker had a great time doing a few Let's Plays, which you can check out at YouTube/Mr.9Shows if I haven't deleted it. I can't remember whether or not I did. Anyways, just go and subscribe to that guy. I'm gonna plug my shit. I'm gonna plug it.
He's plugging his personal channel on the team channel.
But, I'm just saying, we had a great time playing it and doing a few Let's Plays in it, and I'd like to get my hands on the new one and do that again. I mean, it's probably it's a 4-person co-op game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we could add another player into that mix, and I know... I've got a capture card, but I know Connor's got one now, and I know Brandon's got one. So that's something we could do from...
Most of Coil have a fucking capture card.
We could do it from 4 different angles now instead of just seeing me play. But yeah, no, I'm very... I liked the Tales from the Borderland, and I liked how they did it control-wise better than Dark Dreams. To bring it all back around in that 360. I don't like the way the controls work in that game, and I'm not going to play it. Probably not going to play it again. I'll say that.
Which one?
The Dark Dreams. Okay.
And
I'm not going to lie. I didn't even get past the tutorial. The controls upset me enough to just be like, okay, I'm setting it down, and I'm just probably not going to play it again.
Alright. So, of the 3 main... Is that Telltale?
Nope.
It's made by...
some Asian dude.
Yeah, it's made by an
It's a foreign game.
It's a foreign game.
Well, I completely shit on that. I was going to say, which one did you like more than the 3 new Telltale ones, which were Borderlands, Game of Thrones, and that, but...
It plays like a Telltale. You could call it a Telltale if you really wanted to. I would not.
I think they would get pissed off if I did, but we'll do point-and-click story. Of the 3 new point-and-click story games, which one, how would you rank them? I know you would do Borderlands 1. I never even touched the Game of Thrones ones, and honestly, this is going to give me so much flack. I can't wait for us to ever be popular so everyone in the fucking world can hate me. Fuck Game of Thrones.
I'm not going to lie. I watched the first episode about a week ago. I haven't seen none of it. It's an okay show. I'll watch it again. I got too many shows I'm watching right now. But, when this season dies off and all the shows I've been watching are done in the off season, at least now, I think, Game of Thrones is on their 5th season or so?
Something like that.
I think that sounds about right. At least now I know, hey, I've got 4 seasons of...
6th season. No, it's the 5th.
Yeah, I think we're on the 5th. I've got at least 4 seasons of catalog of a show I can watch at about an hour each. That's a good chunk of my time. That'll last me quite a while. Does it deserve the hype? No, but I think it's got the hype for a few reasons. Lots of boobies in that show. And there's an equal amount of dick, if that's your thing. But...
Intellectual movies. They're smart movies.
Robby knows all about that.
It's all about the placement here.
But it's got a lot of sex in it. And if that's your thing, great. Cool. Go watch that show.
Sometimes it's even violent sex, if you really want that.
Well, I'm not going to discuss that. But not to mention, it's also... I think it's got a lot of hype because they've now, in the 5th season, have reached the point to where the books are. The books aren't done being written yet. In fact, people are giving George R.R. Martin a bunch of shit and telling him, hey,
what if you die? I mean, it takes him, 6 or 7 years to write one of these books?
He's getting progressively longer, from what I understand.
Exactly. And so people are now worried that the show is going to start branching off of what the books were. And so it's got all this hype as to it because the series is, they're now going separate ways, it sounds like. And people are going to be inclined to watch that to see what happens. From sources on the internet, George R. R. Martin has apparently said he has told the creators how the books will end, and or how the book will end, and so he's kind of given them that path to follow in case he kicks the bucket before he's done writing the book.
Seems strangely pressuring, doesn't it? I mean, he's not a small guy, and he's old as shit, so it's like. Everyone's just... He's like the next... He's the author Willie Nelson, where he's just getting followed everywhere he goes, hopefully not dying.
I mean, what if... He's going to be really dark, but I mean, what's ever stopped me before? What if the last...
Here it comes.
In the About the author section of the last book, he writes... I finished the series, god damn it, now I can go die. What else does the dude have to live for? He doesn't really have nothing else to live for at that point once he finishes.
All the fucking money that he's made from it, apparently.
I really don't think he's a man who cares that much about money.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you're on your deathbed and you're at that stage, you could probably just pull a Tolkien and just write until you fucking die, and then have somebody like George R. Jr. Martin fucking come in there.
That is something I wanted to talk about. So I've been rereading.
Segues are weird.
I've been rereading The Hobbit again.
No kidding.
And it's a good book. I'd suggest go read it. But I read somewhere that Tolkien's family hates the Lord of the Rings movies. They hate what Peter Jackson has done to the series. They think it's just the worst thing in the world. And so I was trying to do research on that as to why they think that, because I have no knowledge about the situation. And I came across an article about, it was called, Is Tolkien Really a Good Writer? And they made a lot of good points in that, to the point where it's almost changed my opinion of the book. First thing, apparently Tolkien was a real shitty human being. He shit all over the dude who did the Chronicles of Narnia books, calling them... Yeah. He said that they were too mythical and out there, that those creatures would have never existed with each other, and that they were too childish. Which, let's admit it, The Hobbit was a young teen child book. The Lord of the Rings was a lot darker and a lot more adult, but I think The Hobbit was, and he's even said it himself, that he personally doesn't like The Hobbit because he felt it was more of a childish book. So that was in the article, which was kind of like, okay, whatever, that's his opinion. Doesn't make him a bad writer. But they started listing off the fact that instead of characterization, he uses geography. And that is 100% true. Anytime he starts talking about a character, he might say, this dwarf had a big long beard, and then all of a sudden, the next sentence, he's got a whole paragraph about where the dwarf came from, what the fuck, what kind of feet he had that walked across the land, and what the land looked like, and all this. And even when he performed
characterization via where the guy was from.
Yep.
He was very profile.
And even when he introduced the dragon and how horrible this dragon was, he described more about the gold the dragon was laying on than the actual dragon. So I had that thinking, and now every time I try to open the book, all I see is the geography, and it kind of turns me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie. That, and he uses the word queer way too much.
Well, yeah, but that was a way different time.
I know, but shit, dude.
Here's what I'm going to go against that.
book
I'm going to partially agree. See, my father, is a massive reader. As you can see, you look up the bookshelf, and that's a very, very, very small amount of it. And, he turned me on to reading, more than just everything in school. And openly doesn't like Tolkien as a writer. Now, the one thing I would honestly say, he says the same thing about Lucas, is that he's quite an innovative thinker and a visionary, but at the same time, doesn't really know how to put that on screen, or in this case, page. Now, everything that I've seen is that, and I like this part a lot, his son started taking over what he had written down in transcripts, and
just to be clear, he had already finished The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. What Brandon's talking about is the
Silmarillion or something.
Silmarillion or something like that.
Yeah, the book that's...
The letters of Tolkien.
Silmarillion.
Yeah, the books that are still based in the world in Middle-earth, but really don't have anything to do with The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. Those are the books that he finished.
Other than just basically being the lore of, Middle-earth, basically.
Yeah.
But everything that I've heard is that his son is a better writer, or at least more to how modernized writing is. He doesn't talk about the geography, he doesn't do that. He literally progresses the story as a normal author would, where he would do like the characterization, and at some point their geography will slip into there, but he won't describe the geography to the point that half the fucking page is talking about why his feet are swollen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that out of any particular context, it's just saying that, And I haven't read any of the Lord of the Rings or Hobbit in such a long time. I'm trying to reread them, but I've got so many other books on my palette. There's another one I think we should probably bring up, because that's going to be in a movie deal, and we could transition over to movies again. But from everything that I've actually seen, I mean, I don't know if he was a good or bad guy. I just know that he was
I think he was
hell of a thinker.
He was a creative writer. And I did want to do some fact checking before I said this next thing. I had also read that the reason why, and this would explain why he's so into the geography of the world, is that Tolkien was originally an anthropologist.
Well,
yeah.
I understand.
That's what he went to school for. And while he was, I want to say he was, a professor? I think
he was a professor when he did that and wrote the books, I think.
Yeah, he was an anthropologist professor. He had written The Hobbit, and he lent it to a friend at work, and she thought it was such a great book that she suggested he get it published. So that would explain why he's so into geography. Another criticism that he had of the dude who did the Chronicles of Narnia was he was upset that this guy was able to spit the books out so quickly. J.R.R. Tolkien... What the fuck am I talking about? His name's not J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm thinking of George R.R. Martin at this point. What the fuck is this guy's name? Dude, I read his books. I don't necessarily know his name.
I actually think you were correct. Wait, how many R's did you put in there?
Put 2, I think.
J.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, it's J.R. Tolkien. Anyways, I'm going to sound like a major retard now, but whatever.
Way to discredit everything you just said, by the way.
Yeah, pretty much. He was a perfectionist. And he wanted everything perfect, to the point where he actually rewrote The Hobbit close to 4 times before sending it into publishers. And then even after that, after the book was published, he went back numerous times and revised the book and put out another copy of the book. I think he's revised it like at least 4 times.
I would arguably say that to date, the Middle Earth is the most in-depth lore and world of any fantasy or sci-fi. I mean, I could be wrong. I
think Star Wars has a beat.
I think it has more books written, but I mean,
I think
this guy took everything that Lucas did. Not really.
Star Wars has...
I'm gonna rephrase that. You go.
The Star Wars has the galaxy covered. before the Disney acquired everything.
Yeah.
You know, and threw everything out the window and said that's not canon. But before
the Legends series stuff.
Before it was canon, you know, I think it had a broader universe. Because they could do anything. Oh, dude, let's go to this planet. Yeah, it doesn't exist, but fuck it. You know, we got all...
We can just write it into the fucking
We can
story.
do whatever we want.
That's fair. But
Middle Earth...
this guy had the whole fucking planet of whatever. I don't
Yes, but see,
know.
Middle
The whole
Earth...
Middle Earth was written and drawn out before the books were probably
It's safe to say Middle Earth is Earth. I mean, it's in the title, right? So, everyone here...
I don't know about that, but yeah,
I'm pretty sure Middle Earth, it takes place on Earth.
He doesn't specify.
He does not
to the best
specify,
of my knowledge.
but I would assume that it takes place on Earth simply because... First off, the description. We already know he's great on writing about geography. Everything he writes about describes, except maybe the Dark Forest or the Black Forest. That's completely.
There's a lot of mythical things inside of Middle Earth. But...
What the fuck, Nick?
What?
Yay, new person! Close the door. We're in the middle of a podcast, bro.
Nick Andrews, everybody.
For Shannon cigarettes.
It's cool. She's not here.
The fuck?
Sit down.
Fuck. No.
Anyways, what's his face was great at geography, and everything he describes, except the mythical stuff, is almost
say hi to the dog.
Is something that you could
Keep her quiet.
see on Earth as it is right now. So I feel we all have a picture of Earth. There's only so much you can do in that universe. Whereas Star Wars, you can go wherever you want.
I don't know how fair that is, though, because here's my thing. Middle Earth, you could say is very much Earth in the sense that everyone, as far as you know, breathes air and generally has the topographical features as you would. It's got mountains, it's got forests, it's got ravines, snow, whatever. It's got all of that stuff. But Star Wars, on the other hand, and of course, not ignoring the fact that I said, you'd say Star Wars is bigger, and by now I would say yes, but from the get-go it wasn't.
Yeah, when George Lucas, was sitting in his office, assumably smoking whatever he was smoking, or dropping whatever he was dropping,
I don't know, man.
Made him create these things in his head.
I think he was just a visionary, but that's one thing.
That could very well be it, but... you're right.
I think Middle Earth was bigger at that point. But now Star Wars, you're right, is probably bigger. But my point being is that all of the planets that I know of, with the exception
on the seventh day aligned.
With the exception of Naboo, are all the fucking same. Kamino is all water.
Yes.
Coruscant is all city. Hoth is all snow. Tatooine is all sand.
I'm not saying they're creative. I'm just saying you can do whatever you want.
Yavin is all forest.
Yavin is pure forest. That's the moon of Yavin.
We could say Endor is all
the
forest.
Wookiees.
Endor is all forest fucking too.
Kashyyyk's all forest. God damn it! There's
Kashyyyk is beaches and forest. I'm
Wookiees
sorry.
and Ewoks are practically the same one. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm pretty sure Ewoks are just midget versions of Wookiees.
Oh yeah, they were pushed
But
down.
my point is that you could say they can do whatever, but Mustafar fucking was all lava, and it's Tolkien pretty much put all these together on as far as we know in one planet, and actually made the traversal of which a lot more interesting than just simply he flew his X-wing over.
I'm gonna go on the record.
And I'm a sci-fi guy, by the way. This is hard for me to say.
I'm gonna go on the record and state I like Mass Effect more than Lord of the Rings or Star Wars.
I'm gonna go ahead and say you're 100% correct.
That
was.
I was gonna say that you're gonna be like, wow!
I think it's just...
I would say Mass Effect and Halo are my favorite universes.
Well, here's why I like Mass Effect so much more than Star Wars. I like being able to sit down... It's much more immersive to me to actually control this character, have him do this, I can play how I want. I want to be an asshole, and I want to pretend someone in that game is Robby and just chop his head off. I mean, I can't chop someone's head off, but, I can certainly kill innocent people in that game when they give you the option. Not necessarily innocent people,
Which
but
game?
Mass Effect. Like, it gives you options. Like, do you want to kill this spider bitch, or do you want to let her live? Like, it gives, you know, you can either be like, okay, yeah, fuck everyone, I
think you might be referring to the Arachnite Queen.
That's what
Spoiler alert! Fuck you, the game's made in 07. 06,
but I'm just saying,
that.
the options it gives you, you can either be good or bad. And that, to me, is a lot more immersive, whereas Star Wars, yes. I think, I really like Star Wars. I've got it. I mean, I purchased it. My dad purchased it on VHS, and then I remember when I dropped one of the VHS tapes, A New Hope. I remember that day very well, because that was the day my childhood died. I dropped A New Hope. The tape broke in half. I cried a little bit, and my dad went out and surprised me with buying Star Wars, the trilogy. Well, not the first three. Well, technically the first three, 4, 5, and 6. He brought 4, 5, and 6 on DVD widescreen. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but that's the shit when DVDs were out. And then
widescreen was the format for watching movies if you were a movie fan.
Widescreen still is the format. However, that new 4K TV that's got a 2:1 ratio, if I had the money to buy it, I would.
I know, right?
But, then... So my dad brought me those, and that was the shit. Special features up the ass, commentary. It was better than Laserdisc, man. But anyways, then I got the Blu-ray, and oh my god, the Blu-ray menus suck, but the movie looks awesome. Other than Han Solo shooting first, that we're not even going to discuss that. But the movies themselves look awesome.
Leia burritos were shot first.
I'm just saying,
the
movies look amazing in 1080p. But if you want to watch them in their original format, I'd say go Laserdisc all the way.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, I'm going to rephrase what I said originally. My favorite universes, because I'm thinking about it more and I'm just going to shoot myself in the foot every time. Halo, Mass Effect, Star Trek, Star Wars, and then probably Middle Earth. So if you want to question whether or not I'm more sci-fi than fantasy, look at my top 5, and there's 1 fantasy versus 4 others.
I would probably remove...
Those are probably the biggest fucking ones, too, but that's beside the point.
I would remove Star Trek and replace it with Fallout. Just saying.
Ew.
Fallout is a great game.
Fallout is a great player game. If you like to play the game and do nothing at all.
You do lots of things. I will agree that it's
slow as fuck. It's like a melting stick of butter down a hill slow. And I remember watching it, I wanted to shoot myself in the face.
It's not a game you watch. That is a game you play. Fallout New Vegas, I write off. That is not a game you should play. It's a pretty garbage game. And in my defense, I've only played Fallout 3. I never played Fallout 1 or 2. But I'm waiting for Fallout 4. I'm kind of hoping they do what Borderlands did, in the sense that Borderlands 1 had no color. It was a lot like Fallout 3, where it was lots of browns and stuff. And I'm hoping maybe Fallout 4, they introduce a little more color into the game. But I definitely like... I would always pick Fallout universe over Skyrim universe.
I don't really like either, to tell you the truth. I mean, Skyrim I was never a fan of.
I played the shit out of both, so...
Yeah, I mean, I played them before anybody starts throwing words and shit like that. I didn't play them for long. I didn't think I needed to, but... you know. I wasn't a fan. Any movies? Oh, I know what the fuck I wanted to talk about. Thank you, I was trying to remember.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that...
Ready
Player One, yep.
Yeah,
which you were surprised to find out. I read...
all of it.
Well, I read all of it, but you were surprised to find out that I had read it a good 4 or 5 months before you even read it. In fact, I remember having the conversation telling you should read it a couple months ago. So
apparently you mumbled it because I don't fucking remember.
We were sitting.
I won't discredit you, but I'll just say that I don't recall.
We were sitting on Xbox, and I was like, "Hey, you should read this. You should read this book." There's no way that movie's gonna get made. Just saying.
I don't know if it's gonna get made or not, but the thing is that you think the book was amazing. I like the book a lot.
I don't think the book was amazing. It's in no way a
far from perfect book.
It's in no way a literary masterpiece. There's quite a few errors in the book, just with the way he had written the book. But you got to give the guy some credit. This is his first book he ever wrote, and it's gone
it's gone
widespread
massive.
is
If you're a
it?
nerd, it's your fucking deal,
Yeah. No, this movie's not going to get made. It relies too heavily on, Star Wars and television shows.
Not even Star Wars. It relies too heavily on references in general. I mean, holy fuck the references. Now, there's something important to bring up, and that's that... Yes, Nick? You still have your name badge on, by the way, buddy.
Yeah, no. I never take it off.
Ernest Klein to write Ready Player 1 sequel. Ready Player 2. Exactly what I said the title would be, by the way.
Hey, I'm ready for it.
I want to read it.
I'm ready for
it. It wasn't the quickest
2.
book I've ever read, and I don't really read that quickly because I like to read a few minutes before I go to bed. It helps me calm down, do that nice thing. I'm about that chai tea meditation thing. But, no, I thought there was a couple flaws with it that I think it relied really fucking heavily. It was way too heavily referencing...
Nick, if you want to be in the podcast, just ask.
I'll just sit down.
You can openly speak. It's just the
I know.
mic. It's not going to not pick you up. It's not the Connect where it's like, no, fuck you.
No, I don't want to pick you up.
Well, if you moved your Xbox downstairs, we wouldn't have this issue.
Of what?
Of the Connect not picking you up.
Yeah. It picks me up. No, what I was saying is that it relies really heavily on the references, but I don't know if the movie would be that affected by it because he almost never, with the exception of a few conversations, never goes full on into the references. All the references are
There's a
internal.
full world based off of Star Wars and Star Trek in the online
He
universe.
mentions them, but he doesn't go anywhere.
He doesn't really go anywhere. That's the point.
That was the point of the first 6 chapters was talking about how this
all this shit you could do, and if I remember correctly,
you can do anything you really fucking want to in this Oasis world of his,
and they don't do any that's
in the first 6 chapters. It's because he's
really-
dirtboy. He doesn't do shit.
I really like the book, but that's the problem. The first I almost called them shit chapters, but the first 6 chapters are so drawn out. Nothing happens other than
he
the fact
spends
that
the
you
whole
realize
fucking time.
the kid's it's safe to say the kid might be suicidal, a little bit overweight, kill me, fuck me, all that shit. But
it was actually really depressing to read the first couple chapters because he was so he's not religious. Fuck everything that we've ever been just so dystopian, and that's fine. That's a nice way to set it up. But then it continued on for 6 fucking chapters.
It continues on for 6 chapters until he finds the first Easter egg, and once he finds the first Easter egg, I'm going to spoil the book right now. He finds all the Easter eggs. Just saying. Anyways,
if you pick up that book, you're going to know immediately
that he's going to get the girl. It's very stereotypical, but it's okay. Whatever. Anyway, so
cliched, but I get your point.
Did he have the Last Supper 3 days earlier?
Huh?
Did he have the Last Supper 3 days earlier?
It was incredibly cliched. You could tell immediately what's going to happen right off the bat.
It's okay. It's fine.
He spends literally 6 chapters writing about how the Oasis can do anything, and then proceeds to tell us the things it can do.
But
that's all I needed to know.
He finds the Easter egg, right? And then as soon as that happens, it's like the writer took acid or speed or something, because from there the book takes off, and he starts finding Easter egg after Easter egg after Easter egg, not really telling you how he found it. He's like, yeah, motherfucker found this in some crack of the world.
There was no real link to how he found it, other than the fact that the main guy that started the whole Oasis thing had an almanac that apparently was decades long, and this guy has been studying it his whole life and religiously read it it was the new Bible. He just so happens to know this shit.
He started finding all the Easter eggs. Well, then once he finds all of them, except one, may I add, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah,
all 3 of them. It was three Easter eggs and 3 keys. Once you get the key, you have to go through that point, and then he has to go find the next Easter egg.
Once it's like he finds the first 2, and I think something like 4 or 5 years pass without anyone finding that third, Easter. No. Correction. It's between the first and second one that so many years pass. But the problem is the fact that between that gap, all of a sudden, the book starts picking up. He starts, finding all these clues, and then between the Easter eggs, all of a sudden, the dude's coming down off acid or some shit, and all of a sudden, the next 4 chapters is wow, I didn't learn nothing at all in this, you know, like, and then all of a sudden the end picks up again. So it's got its up and downs. It's got its ups and it's got its downs, just like a roller coaster. And
which a lot of people like. I like the roller coaster thing too. It was just I wasn't a big fan of the writing style. I will admit though, not the quickest book I've ever read, obviously, but it was really. You know,
it was a good book.
Having read it just purely at night and not really like I'm gonna finish this book attitude, I finished it in a couple days, which is not rare. Which is kind of rare for me because I don't really read too much.
It's a good book. If you're into that kind of shit, it's a good book. I'd recommend it. Go get it from Audible, who is not our sponsor, but you know,
or Kindle,
or you know, support the author. Get it on paperback. But. Yeah, no, it's a good read. I'd
support us by liking and subscribing.
Well, hey, again, go to YouTube/Mr.9Shows. Click that subscribe.
This has become a dick measuring contest, and the fuck are you doing? What the fuck? Oh, Nick's here, which means that we can go back and talk about your
American Sniper.
Holy no!
What about the dude? Seth Rogen didn't give a shit about the guy who did American Sniper. He was criticizing the movie, so shut up.
I wasn't talking about Seth Rogen. I was talking about the actual movie.
Yeah, he went to go see the movie.
Okay,
you literally blew up on Nick, and he's like, American Sniper.
Well, hey, Seth Rogen is my Jew. I mean, I'm not Jewish, but he's my Jew. I love that dude. So
great movie, very sad.
Well, I mean,
very sad at the end.
Yeah.
Not spoiling anything.
That's normally what happens.
Yeah, usually.
Like human life, it goes away.
God
but
damn.
What can we talk about?
I don't know.
We were talking earlier about embarrassing stories that happened to Trey, and he watched. You remember the 2100 to 3000 year jump that he did mathematically? You want to reiterate just how stupid that fucking sounded to you because he doesn't. I forgot the details.
Oh, I know.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But this one's all you.
We are depending on
He's got his phone out. He's reading it.
He's gonna read the text messages.
Yep.
We got to go to personal stories again sometime.
In today's episode.
Okay. I get a random text. He said, "Dude, I just realized we probably might live to see the year 3000.
No, we won't live to see the year 3000.
Won't leave. Okay.
God, these text messages have been haunting me the last couple of days.
He typed out went instead of won't.
Dude, you're when.
I am. I'm like, huh? He's like, LOL, I was thinking in the shower. In 5 years, it will be 2020. We will be 25, 26-ish. The year 3000 will be 80 years from that. We would be close to 105 years old.
Dude, time goes by faster in the shower, okay? You hop in at 3 o'clock, you find out when you get out, it's all of a sudden
One stroke.
And then he just got depressed. I'm like, 2100? He's like, yeah, my math was way off. Dude,
here's the worst part. He doesn't respond to me, so now I have to explain as to what happened.
He's like, dude, I'm super depressed. I won't live to see 2100, which makes me even more depressed because I won't live to see 3000.
Those are two different text messages, by the way.
Oh, God.
Anyways, long story short, I was watching a TV show predicting the technology we have in the year 3000, and the math I did in the shower while half asleep seemed right.
Fuck you guys.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a thing.
That's a good personal story. Yeah. Anything else that you fucked up
Hey,
with?
go to YouTube/Mr. 9Shows if you like stories like that. Check out my commentary.
Robby, you want to add anything?
You've
got like an hour and a half of podcast that you could add to. You're like, fuck that, fuck this, fuck no, I'm out. Nick, is there anything that you want to throw in there? You gotta have something. No personal stories.
I actually
I almost burned my Packers jersey yesterday.
Good. Yeah, they lost.
Hey, guess what? We have a sports guy in the room.
Dude,
we can
I was
add
so...
a fan base.
I'm not the biggest sports guy, but when it comes to Packers, you don't fuck with my Packers, man.
When he didn't catch that ball, I took off my shirt, threw it across the room, and then I just laid on the floor.
Wow, you
face down. I'm just like,
street too.
I'm just like, this is over.
Well, when Nick gets mad, he lays places.
I was so upset because I was.
If you insult him, he will be sleeping with your wife or girlfriend.
The nice thing about my work is, we have 2 HD TVs out in the lobby,
and I can, when I'm over in my custard area, I can very clearly see one of the TVs out there, and they had the game playing. I was so, like, every once in a while over in custard, you're like, yeah! Like, I was really happy about the game. And then it's like, I leave work, and I go do what I do, and I get home, and I realize they lost. And I was like, what the fuck?
The Seahawks did not win that game. The Packers lost that game. And I'm surprised that I still have my voice right now.
Well, he's basically saying they lost because of themselves, not because of Seattle.
They fucked themselves over.
Alright, by the way, I just want to let everybody, all 5 people listening to us right now,
yo, dude,
I don't know if you know what Trey's... What?
I'll put it on mine too, so it'll be a lot more people.
We'll cross-reference. We'll be awesome.
Yo, I was going to say, go to YouTube. Can't stress this enough. I want more money.
Throw it our way, too. We can have a team. If you like us talking together, we'll have a team, man. A team. I don't know if you guys know exactly where Trey works, but it rhymes with Bulvers.
Hey, I don't want to talk about work.
Slutvers?
Just in case people from work start finding out about this. Oh, my boss has already found out.
If we ever get big enough for you to have your fucking people find out, you're not going to be fucking working right here, probably.
My boss came to me about a few weeks ago and said, hey, bro, watched all your YouTube videos. and this was Jeff. I'm like, what? He's like, you're an angry person. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you go off on some rants. And I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like,
you get mad. You read shit on Reddit and then take it to heart. It's like, why do you do that to yourself? You did the ghosts one.
Right. Go to Imgur instead.
Just don't go on fucking internet forums. The problem is that there's a lot of happiness in the world, and there's also a lot of hate. And unfortunately, we gave the people with fucking hate an outlet to spew their stupid fucking gray matter. So... wow, holy shit, we are gonna get so bashed. Everyone's on their fucking laptop.
I'm just saying, Reddit is fucking
Are you taking a picture of me?
No, I'm trying to take a couple pictures of you and me, but apparently it's not just like... my camera's saying no, which is kind of starting to upset me. Oh, that's like I'm in selfie mode, that's why.
Trey trying to figure out a camera.
Dude, you got 101. You tell me how to work this shit.
You tell me how to work this.
There we go. Figure it out.
I go to HTC Camera and it's all set up.
Yo, dude, you're an HTC camera.
I am an HTC camera.
I'm a Nokia.
Nokia?
Lumia 925.
Can't tell if it's taking the photo or not.
I'm a Cosmos.
But anyways, we live in Minnesota.
That's a cool fucking phone name.
Anyways, we all live in Minnesota and our sports teams suck. So
I'm from Florida,
really to look forward to.
And we still suck.
Nope, your fucking Tampa Bay Lightning are second in the Eastern Conference.
Tampa Bay Lightning's
They're
good.
1 point behind the New York Islanders.
The Rays legalized gay marriage down there too.
Where?
Florida.
Mazel tov.
Oh, sweet. I'm so happy about that. That means I get to go back. Fuck all my...
Done! Careful! Wait, do I have to bleep that out? I wasn't listening. I don't know the time either. I'm going to have to listen to the whole thing.
We don't have to bleep that out.
It's 11:34 right now.
Well, thanks, Nick.
Dude, I'm black.
You're not black. You're the whitest kid here.
I am not the whitest kid here.
Dude, you're half Jew, man. You're the whitest kid here.
I'm also half Irish. What's your point? Whoa. Oh, we're getting called out. We are not bigots here. We're not sexist. We just love each other. Fuck off.
Okay, speaking of...
I'm not racist. I love everyone, or I hate everyone equally.
Speaking of Irish people...
We're going to back out and have Nick go...
Wasn't there a UFC fighter who just won yesterday who's Irish?
Was he also...
McGregor?
McGregor, I love McGregor.
He had a second round technical knockout?
I love McGregor.
Brandon loves everyone in the UFC equally.
Trey is going topless now. Alright.
My milkshake... Hold on.
We've got to... No! I have nutsack pictures of you. You better put that...
Quiet, man. I'm going to edit that shit out. I'm editing this whole section out, man. Fuck you.
Why?
That says so.
Okay.
Where are you going, Robby? hey, get back. There's got to be something...
Okay. We've gotten completely derailed.
If I was listening to this, I'd turn this out and say, fuck this forever, so... no more of that shit.
Alright, I think we're good. I hope you guys all enjoyed the podcast.
I'm not done yet.
What do you mean you're not fucking done yet? You're getting fondled by Robby taking pictures with your...
Come here!
Okay, everyone quiet. Let's hear it.
We're not done until I say we're done. We've only been going for an hour. We have a half an hour left to
No, we
go.
don't.
20 minutes to go. I don't care if that 20 minutes is silence or not.
Okay. Well, what do you want to talk about?
Why does that have to be
I don't have
20
nothing.
minutes?
Because, goddammit, we're competing with Rooster Teeth.
No.
We're losing horribly. We're not even a fraction or decimal or whatever. Either or, doesn't matter. Okay, well, I can see you want to do a hour 30 podcast. We didn't
Actually,
really.
nah, I'm good. We can end it whenever you want.
We didn't really have a structure for this podcast. We have a general structure, but we kind of just decided to go until we just say it's probably time to quit, and then we'll come back when we have more shit.
You know, I actually
The first one was almost 2 hours, so I don't know if you want to end it now.
No,
or...
I think probably now is a good time to end it. I gotta go home and play a little Master Chief Collection. So,
Or try to.
whatever. I think now is a good time to end it.
Alright, so before we go, we'll reintroduce ourselves. We'll be probably mainstays. My name is Brandon. Trey.
We're going for 20 minutes.
What, are you seriously going for 20 minutes?
No.
No, don't listen to him.
My name is Brandon. Yours is Trey.
I'm just... Dude,
Robbie.
I'm burning it
Nick,
up right
and
now,
the
dude.
Pats will win the
I
Super
am
Bowl.
trying to extend
Yeah.
this out as much as I possibly
Pats
can
will
right
kick
now.
the
You're
shit
the Gus in this situation!
Yeah, because we ran out of shit to do because you derailed us, you
Okay, Pats,
fuckhead.
guess what? When this goes on YouTube, don't be surprised if you see just 20 minutes of added silence on the end.
I will get the file and edit it out and then put it back on fucking cast
It'll
coil.
still be on mine.
It will be on yours, but guess what? That's not the proper cut.
Alright, hey guys,
I'm
this
the
is
laser
Trey.
disc.
I've got Robby, I've got Nick,
We've
I've got
already
Brent.
started.
I've already cued the outro music. It's done.
Last name ever, first name greatest. Like a sprained ankle, boy, ain't nothing to play with. Started off local, but thanks to all the haters, I know G4 pilots on a first name basis. In your city, faded off the brown. Nino, she insists she got more class. We know, swimming in the money, come and find me. Nemo, if I was at the club, you know I balled. Chemo, drop the mixtape.